Hi there. It's sometimes important to know that you're working on a flat surface. So in building, for example, they use a spirit level to make sure that the floor or whatever the wall they're working on is flat. And that can be very important, especially if you're working with explosives. Just sort of trust me on this one. So we're going to turn our microbit into a spirit level so you can use it like a spirit level. So the maths here is quite important. If you think about it, you remember you've got your x and your y axis. So if any of those is not in line, then you're not going to be on a flat level. So what we have to do basically is tell whether the x and y is flat. So let's set that up. I've got to go and create two variables, one for my x-axis. I'm just going to call that x, and one for my y-axis. So I'm just going to call that y. And forever, I can get rid of start, but forever, I want to have my x and y-axis. So I just set it here. X is equal to, and I'm setting y equal to. I'm assigning values to that. And the values I'm assigning to it, if you go into input, you'll notice you've got acceleration. Now, acceleration will tell whether you're in or out of plane. So I've got now the acceleration of x, but you'll notice also there's acceleration of y and of z. So all of the planes in 3D. So I'll just give there now the acceleration not of x, but of y. So it's reading from the chip the acceleration of x and assigning that value, whatever it is, to x and to y. And if you look at your chip, you see that it's 0. And if I move my chip from side to side or up and down, you can see numbers coming up. Okay, so acceleration of x, 75, 73. Here it's 45, 7. And we go into negative numbers. And yeah, so how can we use this acceleration? If the chip is up or down, it's not straight, it's not flat. Well, we're going to have to use an if there. So I'm going to use that one. And I'm going to need that one over there. And what I'm going to say is if the acceleration of x, if x, but I've got to differentiate between pluses and minuses, or rather I don't want to. It can be plus or it can be minus. If it's not kind of close to 0, then it's not going to be straight. So in maths we can use something called the absolute. Where is it? Where's the absolute? There we go. So we can say the absolute of, and choose x for that one, must be equal to 0. Well, it's only 0 when it's exactly on, but do you want your spirit level to be just a little bit tolerant? Because no surface is ever totally flat. And what the microbit.org site that I got this code from suggests you use greater than equal to 32. And that'll give you, if it's greater than equal to 32, either plus or minus, so that's why we're using absolute, then it's not going to be very flat at all. And then if that's the case, I'm going to show an LED that's not flat. So I'm going to put a big cross to show, no, you're not yet flat. Your x-axis is not yet flat. And I can do exactly the same for the y-axis. So if I can go there, add an else if, just copy that code down, and instead of x, I change it to y. So now the absolute of y is greater than 32. So that's either plus or minus. It's the absolute. And it's going to show the same, that it's not quite flat. But if it is flat, then I can put the else in and just put a little level there. So if we start running the code, you'll notice AX is 0 and the absolute of Y is also 0. So it's showing flat. I move my chip. I go out of kilter for X and for Y. And if I'm not sitting flat, the spirit level is now going to be showing me a cross. So I know it's not flat. And obviously, you can play with that tolerance. If it's too fine, if it's not giving you the good results that you want, then you can just up that figure a little bit or take it down if it's too much. Well, I think there's a lovely little project and very, very useful. I can never find my spirit level at home. So now I can use my Microbit.